everybody. Welcome to Just Upright. My name is Doc Jane Ruther, Doctor of Physical Therapy, and your foreign educated physical therapist guide to US application. I hope you guys are doing great. So, tomorrow is the big day for the USPT Turbocharge 2.0. Okay, my live online masterclass. I had the live masterclass last March in the Philippines, my first live international masterclass in the Philippines. So it was great because a lot of people attended from, some of them are really from far off, 6-7 hour drive just to attend the masterclass. So I really appreciated everyone who attended that master class in my home country in the Philippines. So this is the online class, the first online class that I'll be having after that live master class, because I planned to do it last April, but I've been through a life struggle, a personal crisis that, thank God, he healed me from it. And with God's grace, I was healed, and I was able to overcome it through the strength that comes from God. Okay, so I am back now, stronger than ever. And so I'm going to have the live master class tomorrow. It's so early here in the Central Standard Time, 6 a.m., but it's gonna be 7 p.m. in the Philippines, Saturday, 4:30 in India. So thank you so much for those who registered. I'll see you soon. I'll see. I don't know what time it is. It's early morning right now in the Philippines, Saturday. So I'll see you tonight there. Okay. So tomorrow here in the Central Standard Time. Anyway, so thank you so much for those of you who are still thinking and you watch this video and you want to catch up with the upcoming masterclass. Do so. There's still time for you to register. Okay. So that's the first one. I'd like to thank those who registered. Thank you so much. The second one we're going to talk about today is about the Toefl. Okay, the test of English as foreign language. There's so many questions about Toefl. Okay, first thing that you have to remember, the test of English as foreign language. Not all states require TOEFL. Okay, New York does not require you to take TOEFL before you can take your national physical therapy examination. Okay, California requires you to. They have a specific passing rate, passing score. Okay. Before they can release your license or you can take the NPTE. Okay, so there are different states, and we have 50 states here in the United States, and they are not united when it comes to their requirements. Okay, so there are states that will require you to pass TOEFL first before you can take the NPTE. There are states that you don't have to pass TOEFL. Okay, so in the state level, it's different. Okay, for the requirement, but in general, if you do not have a working visa, if you don't have an immigrant visa, you're not a US citizen, you're not a US immigrant, you will need the TOEFL for the purpose of visa application. So, for people applying in New York, yes, you can take the NPTE, you can pass the NPTE without TOEFL, but your employer will petition you with a working or immigrant visa. Your employer is required by law to submit the healthcare worker certificate of the person they are petitioning, and that is you. If you are the applicant, you have to have the healthcare worker certificate. And one of the requirements of that is that you pass TOEFL. Okay. So I'm going to read to you guys the email that I received. One of the foreign educated physical therapists emailed me about his dilemma with TOEFL. Okay, so and then I'll answer the question. So he said, I recently got my TOEFL result, and it is just enough to pass the FCCPT requirement, which is a composite score of reading, writing, and listening of 63. So the composite is the total number or the total score for those three sections: the reading, writing, listening. That is the passing score for FCCPT 63 and the speaking score of 26. Unfortunately, my reading score is 20, which means I am not qualified to apply in PTBC. So that's Physical Therapy Board of California, since they require applicants to have 22 for reading. So remember, he said his reading score was 20. Okay, I have no problem with other sections, listening, speaking, writing. Is it possible to use my current TOEFL score to apply for Type 1 for licensure in FCCPT and take another one in the future for requirements of the Physical Therapy Board of California? Okay, so that is a dilemma, okay? So again, in his case, the Board of California is asking for at least 22 for the reading section, and he only got 20. For the FCCPT, again, the passing score will be the composite score of 63 and 26 for speaking. Okay, so he passed the FCCPT requirements, but he did not pass the Board of PT of California. So he can use the TOEFL that he got with the passing score for FCCPT. He can use that. So I emailed him back and said, yes, you can use the FCCPT score that you use as long as it is, acceptable by FCCPT, the passing score of 63 and 26. But he can take another TOEFL and use that TOEFL for Physical Therapy Board of California. Okay, so to suffice the requirement of the state of California. Okay, so that's what I was talking about, guys. So TOEFL is not necessarily across the board in all states. They have different requirements. In fact, I have another video about TOEFL, and I discussed there, the passing scores of TOEFL, okay, and the difference of TOEFL for state level and the healthcare worker certificate. Now, if you are an immigrant or if you are a U.S. citizen, you don't need the healthcare worker certificate. Okay, so you don't need the healthcare worker certificate, so you don't have to worry about applying for FCCPT Type 1 for immigration. You just have, if you're a foreign educated, you have to go through the credentialing process. And if the state that you are applying requires TOEFL, then you have to submit your score, your TOEFL score, okay, with a passing score based on the requirement of that specific state. Okay. So another question that I received before is that this person emailed me and said, well, for this specific state, these are their requirements. And I passed everything except for speaking. It's like, very low in speaking. And then he took another TOEFL. And the next time he passed, he tested for TOEFL. He passed everything, including speaking. It's a higher score than before, but he failed short of, for example, reading. I cannot really remember. So he's asking me, since, here the first test, the problem was speaking. The second test is that everything he passed, including speaking, but the problem is reading. Can he combine the two TOEFL, okay, and submit it to the state, and you use that to suffice the requirement, to complete the requirement of that state? The answer is no. Okay, so in one sitting, in one TOEFL, you have to pass all the required scores in one sitting. You cannot combine many TOEFLs and use it to submit to the state, or ask the TOEFL company, ETS, to submit your score to the state, and so that they will just pick what is okay, this is passing, this is passing, this is passing. No, so you have to test the TOEFL, and in one sitting, just in one sitting, you have to pass or get the passing score per item. So the reading, writing, listening, and speaking, they should be all passing score in one sitting. You cannot get, from this TOEFL that you fail one of the section, this TOEFL you fail another section, then you're gonna combine. It's not gonna work that way. Okay, so I hope that is clear for you guys who have questions about TOEFL. Again, check my video if you go to the to the channel landing page, and search TOEFL. I have videos about TOEFL. If you have more questions, that is a good resource for TOEFL. Many people are failing TOEFL because uh, nervousness, anxiety is a problem. They can speak English when they are not time pressured, but when they are under time pressured, it's hard for them to speak and formulate their thoughts in English. So it all boils down to a lot of practice, reading and thinking in English, watching movie in English, practicing, listening, recording your voice, and listen how you sound. It's different when it's recorded because you can really critique your voice and see what part of answering a question you should improve on. Okay, so it's not impossible to pass TOEFL. Okay, it just requires a lot of practice and preparation, but you can do it. Okay, so for those of you who registered for the masterclass, I'll see you tomorrow. And then for those of you who have questions, post your questions under the comment section of this video. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching and stay blessed.